Alright, we should be live now. Not 100% sure, I'm gonna pull it up myself. Watch my own stream, because why not? Made some changes to the app off stream. With the inventory section, I made that search bar and stuff so it shows a little more consistently. Before, the search bar kind of hid when you scroll down. Let's see if we can make, I need some like different scenes or something, but we'll put Claude right there. Trying to do 4 things at once right now. Yeah. Plus being able to hear myself almost like with a 1 second delay or a half second delay is kind of weird. Trying to do 4 things at once right now. Yeah. Plus being able to hear myself almost like with a 1 second delay here. Alright, so should be able to see. Oh, that's my mouse over there. Should be able to see the app now, pretty much full screen. I got that guy. I need to really just turn myself off. I've got the game down in the lower left corner, the dashboard that we're building up in the top. So I made it so that the search and this whole area up at the top here is kind of just like a fixed header navigation area when you're scrolling down. That way, if you're searching, it's just always fixed there, so... I wonder if these start with an IS, is that why? They have an IS in them. Void. There's a lot of different is duplicate, for example, is one I use quite frequently. Let's get Claude to add a little X in there so when we're searching, on the inventory search page, search bar, add a X to the right side to clear. Yeah, the other thing that I also did was I set it so that when you search for something, it's by default on this highlight mode. Makes it something you're a little more familiar with once you get familiar with using the app. Otherwise, you can just click filter and then it gives you a traditional like filter. So if we want to look up like the turncoat, for example, we just go straight to it if we know what we're looking for. But I think when you're looking for like, what do I have that is a scout rifle, right? I mean, obviously you can look right here, this is nice, but I just kind of like the traditional, being able to look in my inventory here, in this grid that I'm seeing, the way that I have everything grouped. So Claude Fable is actually working on this. Got the Pro subscription that resets on Wednesday, and I'm only at 32%, so might as well use Fable. I've actually found using these models on low, like the lowest effort, they're actually really good. Like, I think these models that exist, like these frontier models, are more than capable of doing the type of things that like even I can think of requesting it to do. Like, whereas like putting it on like these higher efforts, ultra code or whatever, like, I mean, it's probably like super in-depth thinking, but like I needed to change some code lines, like nothing too crazy, right? You know, go restart a Docker container. Pretty simple stuff. And it's really like the amount of usage that I get is pretty nice. I wish they had a something in between the Pro subscription that's $20 and the Max subscription that's $100, because I always run out of my limit on the Pro subscription and I never even get close on my Max subscription. Like, I mean, I guess if I just cranked Fable 5 up high, I could probably get there, but looks like Claude's done, so refresh the page here. We should have now a way to clear our searches. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. We type in, because the one thing I'm doing a lot is this is duplicate, and really the only other way that you can clear it is just to either erase it and delete it, or go to another page, reload it. Let's put it into filter mode. Yeah, let's see how it works there. Yeah, that's good. It is duplicate, but I want to pack and highlight. Highlight's the default. Alright, so the next thing that I want to do is on the inventory page, as you are scrolling down through inventory, when you have, basically, as I'm scrolling, I want to be able to see each of these items, instead of them being clipped off, because they're only going to be this 9x9, right? I just want those to kind of scroll down until they essentially hit the next. So I wonder if I can dictate this while I'm doing it. I guess we can. That's pretty nice. Just really good. Inventory. Specifically in weapons, or yeah, just really in the weapons, when you have a lot of them. As you can see in the image, as I scroll down through my vault, my character inventory, which is a fixed 9-slot inventory, that gets cut off. So what I'm wanting to do is have like each of the weapon, you know, the kinetics, the energy, the power weapons, you know, as you're scrolling down, those kind of move down with the section in the vault. That way you can always see that 9x9 and the equipped item on the character, instead of just seeing dead space. And then obviously once the energy weapons slots, you know, run into the next section or whatever the case is here, I guess it would, yeah, once it collides with the next section or gets cut off at that point, then it's fine. But so yeah, we'll go ahead and send that. That's what the other thing too I really like about these Frontier models is you just kind of give it a brain dump of, you know, what you're thinking. You kind of as detailed as you can think, because me going in here and like giving it a very short, direct prompt, it may be good, it may be able to achieve what it's doing, but I feel like if I can give it as much detail as I can possibly describe or think of, And typically that's through me just kind of speaking out loud. It's easier to talk, obviously, than it is to type. So I usually just kind of do these dictation brain dumps and let it build it. So while it's doing that, I'm gonna actually go ahead and take a look at my armor here, because what I want to do is these items that are not, that I have flagged that are low, I'm just gonna get rid of them. If I have duplicates of them, like this, I have. How many of these limit opponents masks? A bunch of them. So all that means to me is these are below 75, as you can see on the total, and they're not tier 5s. I'll take that one right there. Like, I'm not gonna build something with a 67, honestly. How do I get more of these? Equilibrium, that's perfectly fine. I'm gonna keep that just because it's only 2 points off, but the other thing too, I'm gonna make sure is as I'm doing this, I'm not like hold on to that for a second. And we'll hold on to this 540. So 550 right there. Just making sure I didn't delete my helmet. Guess I'll just, do we have an exotic? Cleaning up the vault, building new features. Alright, so let's see, we'll give this a refresh and see how I did here. Since that functionality that I just asked for is complete. Let's see. Other than the lost items, it's like the text on the side, it's kind of buggy a little bit, but it's pretty good attempt as a first pass, I would say. Alright, we'll give it a screenshot of that. We'll give it a little more effort though. Put it up to medium, up a notch. This is a good attempt, but as you can see, it's a little glitchy. So the text on the side, where it says like lost items for the postmaster, under weapons where it says kinetic, energy, power, those are like eventually overlapping each other, and as you scroll down through the page, you just have a line of text you can't even read because it's all mashed together and overlapping. And then obviously the items are also like behind, like overlapping, so the scroll kind of it like locks it to the top, I guess, which it should. But once the items reach the bottom of like their height, basically, like that 3x3, as you can see in the second image, then I would expect that's where it stops, and then it continues scrolling until you get to the next set. Alright, we'll see how that goes. Alright, let's see what else. What do we want to add into this? Let's see why we have no titles data available. What's going on with the titles page? Let's see if Opus can handle this one. Send that one out. The other thing I was trying to experiment with was with Zur, and it looks like it got it. Let's freaking go. This is actually exactly what I was trying to get it to do. So it was showing some of like this main level stuff, but you couldn't see when you got into Zur and you looked at like his actual items that he has in those like other gear slots. So what I did was I just added that additional information in there, so now I can see every week what weapons I don't have, because like this week I just had to I haven't gotten the Corsair's Wrath before. I just got that for the first time. And like these you can see right here, like this is I think for the Titan. I know that this is for the Warlock. So like these are items that I don't have, right? And I wanted a really quick way, as I'm looking at all of the vendors, to know what do they have that I don't have. That way I don't even have to look. Bunch of stuff you can buy. It's really mainly for Zur, like. Got all that stuff from Banshee. So like the Exodus down mask, I don't think. I have that set, so if we go Exodus down, oh, you know what? Better, we can do that over here. Exodus down. I do have that. That's weird. Alright, so let's give this a hard refresh now and see if it fixed the inventory issue. Okay, that looks better. I mean, that looks... Yep, and that's what I wanted to, really, was these columns. Kind of like a Doom, so that looks good. It's pretty crazy what... You can build literally anything now. Alright, what else can we do? Alright, TLD are the titles tab. For Seal's presentation links, there's an available Seal song back to. I would like you to build something that is as familiar as it is in the actual game. Essentially, we just want to have titles. Our legacy titles, our active titles, we want to be able to go into them, see what our progress is. So, here's going to be the difference of, like, in this chat, as you can see in the titles, I'm being very short. And we're not necessarily getting what we want completed. Obviously, we're using Opus 4.8 on low versus Fable 5, so still a little bit different in terms of models and how new they are, or whatever you want to compare them to, but me giving it a little bit of a brain dump and what I'm thinking, what I want, what's on my mind, versus giving it a one-sentence prompt typically yields different results. It'd be interesting to see now that I've given it one more prompt. The thing is, this game has existed for 10 years, so telling it I want it to be as like close to what's in the game, like this layout's not changed really for years. So see what he can come up with. Managed to do the triumphs just fine. It's such an awesome thing. It's got the Tablet of Ruin, it's got each of the artifact tiers in there. Let's see what my total is. We're 515 in game, so 84, 88. We're actually at 78. Interesting, so something's off on that. Something's not picking up. Minus 10 class. Minus 10 class. It's interesting. Oh, and you know, now that I think about this, this is prismatic build, not a solar build. So I'm gonna have to redo that one. I need a good build with the Celestial Nighthawk for damage. Some sort of solar survivability build would be nice too, that just doesn't have anything to do with slaying out and ads would be nice. So I guess this would be a good time to test out the loadouts functionality then. We're gonna go around with this. We're gonna do Celestial Nighthawk because we want to go with solar. We're gonna go with the Still Hunt. We'll save the other two for now, just because we're looking for damage. Claude is still churning away on the titles thing over here on the side, so we can build ourselves something. So artifacts. Arc, Stasis Void. We got the Hunter's Journal here. Keep that on. Solar. Let's take a look at this one. The Hunter's Journal. I'm going to try doing a build completely from the app here and just see what the experience is like. So as we're building this, it's going to be trying to max out. And I wonder, let's just see if we can do like minimum of 100 weapons. What if we just put max weapons? How would it? Interesting. So is that changing? I don't know how that changed. So Kill hunt, that's to their hunter's journal. Because we want the damage buff. So I think we just equip this just as is. So let's look at these buffs here. So at 145%, ammo bricks from defeated targets have a chance to contain additional rounds, increasing weapons. The thing is, you would probably want your super to be high too, so can we get above 100 on? Can do. See, why is it changing? What happens when we're above? So increases super damage. So realistically, we want our stats as high as possible. This seems like it is equipping the mods. Increases the super from yeah, realistically, we want our stats stacked in super and weapons if possible. If we can get 200 weapons, 200 super, that'd be freaking great. But the highest we can do is basically what we have on right now, which is crazy. But that's alright. That's still, I guess, somewhat of a buff considering we're just doing for a damage build. So let's see what we can do to increase that even more through our artifact. Your solar supers are enhanced. That sounds like a yes. I think we're gonna go with on your mark just to get the 3. Solar dishes. So, I guess the question is, what are we going to be using in our heavy weapon slot if we're going to be using so if we're going to use this, which is going to be good for raids. So if we do unwavering duty, that's going to spread scorch. Unwavering duty will spread scorch. So you apply more Scorch. Ember of Ashes automatically makes more sense. Just trying to find something here that goes good with solar weapon. Okay, so Ember of Searing and defeating a scorched target grants melee energy and creates a fire spirit. Ember of Singeing is going to... Your class ability recharges faster when you scorch targets. What's going to do ignition damage? Is that going to be our actual... So, when they're scorched, do they automatically have ignitions, basically? Alright, so I think that's what I'm going to go with here for this solar build. We're doing Ember of Ashes, which apply more scorch stacks to targets. And we're going to do Ember of Char, which your solar ignition spreads scorch to affected targets. And this is also plus 10 grenade. We're going to do Ember of Searing, which is defeating scorched targets grants melee energy, so this will be helping us get our melee energy back, and we'll also be critting a fire spirit. Your class ability recharges faster when you scorch targets. Your ignitions have increased area of effect. So then we'll be, obviously, we will be using the knife trick for this. And then Acrobat's Dodge to make ourselves radiant. This Storm Grenade, I guess, is going to be the best one for that. So we'll autofill that. Alright, now let's go through our artifact. We're doing the Hunters again because it says it's best for Solar Sniper. auto rifle potentially, so we'll just take a look and see. But the other thing that might be useful is potentially this implement of curiosity for Solar Strand, because we're gonna probably, I guess, just do them in retrograde in the top there, so we're just straight damage. So interesting, that would be good for the Alright, so solar precision hits scorch the target, so that's gonna probably help do even more damage when we hit the boss on DPS phase. For tier 2, there's really not another good. We'll do this elemental siphon, I guess. Or energy. Diffuse energy substrate, gain a small amount of damage resistance. I mean, that's always useful, I would say. Tier 2 slots, let's see. Stunning a champion, rapidly defeating combatants with a sword, don't care about that. Void or prismatic, don't care about that. Wait, while you have a solar prismatic surplus, picking up orb power makes you radiant. That's kind of nice, we'll keep that for now. Okay, your solar ignition does increase damage, we'll put that in slot 2 for now. This one might be good, Elemental Siphon. We were going to put that on up at the top, but we'll put it on for now in slot 3 for tier 2. Rapid final blows with a kinetic weapon or a weapon matching your equipped super creates an elemental pickup. So that means we're going to be creating elemental pickups with the unwavering duty because it's solar and it matches. We'll just double check that there's nothing else that's stasis, breaking a combatant shield, strand or tangle. Destroying a tangle with a strand weapon. Continuously firing an auto rifle. And then we got this sniper one up top again. So then for the final slot, prismatic. While you have an armor charge, dealing damage with a sword consumes. An armor charge, we're not going to be using a sword. Void, not using void. I'm not going to be doing any of that. We're not going to be transcendent. Sniper rifle hits stat grant, snacking sniper rifle damage, heavy ammo. The thing is, that's nice. Sniper rifle hits grant stacking sniper rifle damage. I guess that's pretty good. Stability and reload bonuses for a short time. If there was a decent primary kinetic weapon that we could use, we could put on that A499. Well, we'll continue and see. Arc or prismatic. Stuns a champion. Sword. Void. Arc. Auto rifles. Stasis. Breaking a combatant shield. So I mean, the sniper rifle stacking damage is the only one that makes sense there. And then obviously that one right there, prismatic transfer. When you cast your super, each member of your team with a super type different than yours gains bonus to damage weapons. I mean, that's, yeah. So what are we looking at? Alright, so we're gonna just save that for now as new solar. Because this is, I really do like how this is lining up here. We didn't do anything with armor set bonuses. I don't even know from that standpoint if that, how the build would look. But let's, I guess, actually, let's just see if we can equip all this. Should pull away that slot. Alright, so on the loadouts page, under the subclass, there's nothing that covers on the loadouts page under the subclass section, there's nothing that covers the abilities, which those also play into your loadouts. So can you add something for abilities to be able to see some information about the different abilities for your class abilities, the movement abilities, solar, I mean the melees and the grenades, and the different options? So that was the one thing that we were missing from the subclass section. I think fragments was pretty much spot on. Let's see if it actually did apply how we picked it. So we picked solar, we picked energy, stacking damage, solar or prismatic, or makes you radiant. So while we're picking up an orb of power, we're going to be radiant, which while we're radiant, we're going to be doing more damage. Rapid final blows with the kinetic or weapon is also going to be giving us the fire sprites, spirits, whatever they're called, sniper rifles. Yeah, so it put all of that stuff on for us, so that's perfect. Did the fragment perfectly. Did the weapons, even though that's what we already had equipped. Okay, so on the helmet, it should have applied. Huh. I guess it's not showing where it's applying the mods. So that's probably going to be, I think, the next thing that we do is around the mod slots. But basically this did plus 40 super, plus 10 weapons, so we'll see where we put it. That's super. It's weapons. Super, super, super. So it did apply the mods as well. That's nice. Holy crap, we actually have a 0 health stat. That's pretty funny. And then the interesting thing is, too, we're at 425 in total points now. If we master work, I guess the master working is going to bring it our 3 lowest stats, which is going to be health on all of these. $530 might actually be like one of the highest stat builds. I mean, look at the damage though. There, 27% damage increase to. I mean, that's going to be huge. And do we have anything on here? We have Sage Protector. So I like this build how it is, but let's see if there's any bonus sets that make sense, even in just the 2-piece sets. Like, that would make sense. Final blows with freshly drawn weapons heal you. Void. When your shields begin to regenerate, you gain damage resistance. Interesting. Receiving healing temporarily grants your solar weapons increased flinch resistance. As your health gets low, your weapons gain increased precision. Weapon final blows while your shields are depleted. Heal you. So Vigilant Watch would be nice. Final blows for primary ammo. Picking up ammo grants armor charge. That might be pretty nice. That would be kind of nice too. Sage Protector keeps us at 530, so that's kind of concerning. Like if I put Bushido in here, does that keep us at 530? 521, so we lose 9 points for Bushido. Final blows with freshly drawn weapons heal you. What if we do Rasputin's Wrath, Seventh Seraph? it's not updating. It's interesting. What was the other one that I said? Vigilant watch. Does it put the iron finish on? Okay, so that's better, because I mean, we're 3 points away from 530 versus, and we have 100 in melee, so our weapons damage is a little bit less. Our class stats pretty low. I don't know, let's go real quick to just test this out. So we'll go test this build. And actually, while we're doing that, let's go back to the dashboard here. Just get this a refresh, because we should now have something for our subclass based on our loadouts request over here to Claude. If Chrome didn't crash completely on me. Why is Duolingo telling me to keep my streak going? I did it this morning. Look at that. That is freaking perfect, dude. Okay, so new solar build, we'll go ahead and load that config. We want doesn't let me select them. Okay, so what's going on? What I add? Under the subclass section, there's now a reference blocks. How it works. Committed. Okay. You did a great job adding them in, but why are they reference only? This is a loadout builder, not a infographic. Come on now, Claude. Alright, so let's go, let that do its thing real quick. We'll go into the game here. Just, see how this plays out. So, the idea is I'm gonna be in raids or whatever, or dungeons, whatever I'm gonna do. Learning the symbols over here. Nope, those are not the right guys either. One of these days, okay, we'll just go to them right there. So the idea is we turn this one, we're gonna be shooting this down. So what do the fire sprites do? Anything? Nothing? Let's get the big old pony Carl in here. Carl! Is there Carl? Alright, so I just want to do a little bit of testing here. So, bowling gun. We're gonna reset that. Let's make sure we have 4916. We'll go with that. So it's about 20% more potent with radiant. It's pretty good actually. Scorch back, I mean, it's always nice to come here and be like, oh yeah, this build slaps. Look at all the damage I just did. But the reality is, let me see what this is hitting like in practice, in the Grandmaster, or in a raid, you know. That is alright. Claude's just finishing up, so seeing what's going on over here. They're selectable now, according to Claude. Give it a little refresh. Alright, so let's reload that again. We should now have the ability to select and just for testing purposes, let's go ahead and load into Builder. Do shot. Gambler's dodge, triple jump, phantom surge. We'll do a scatter grenade. Stylish executioner, vanishing step. We'll just click on some random ones here. How about that? And we are going to hit equip. So this should change literally everything from our subclass to our fragments. So we're running into an issue. I just realized I didn't have the dashboard up when I did that, so that's right. Did a pretty good job. We can always run it back the other way, but I noticed that it has an issue when we do an equip on Hunter, and it's basically trying to, I think, equip the exotics before it removes the existing exotic. So it's almost like it needs to have like some sort of retry or something. I don't know, because it's probably going to do the same with fragments, I would assume. But I mean, this should have, I mean, it set up everything perfectly. What if I change, like, to, let's go vortex grenades, spectral blades, marksman, and then we'll do the equip. See how this goes. Alright, so it looks like I might be getting hung up. I might have some things to do, but might be an issue for another day type of thing. On the bright side of it, we can, well, it's interesting that it removes all of the fragment slots. If I don't select anything here, it removes it. It doesn't update. Oh, it did update. I didn't even catch it do that. Let's put that back. See if we can actually catch it do it. Alright, so I just set it to switch again. It's pretty cool that you can use an API to change this stuff like this. There's definitely a bit of a bug around this. I mean, kind of spamming it, I think. I don't know if it's necessarily a bug. I don't know if it's going to eventually catch up with these changes, or if the app is just like, hey, I tried to do this and, you know, it's failing here, not 100% sure. Because it certainly did change the stuff. If we hit equip again, let's just dismiss this, hit equip again. I mean, it's probably going to change. Oh, excuse me. I just want to witness it for my own eyes. I mean, I'm witnessing the fragments change. I want to see the abilities change. That's kind of the functionality we just added. It's not fully selected. But if I select the fragments, will you let me then, please? It's doing the fragments. Is it going to change the abilities? Let's change the super, change the jump. Everything else is good. Okay. Fragment 6, you can have perform change. No grenade slot. No class ability change slot. Equip. So it's like it's like it's still just trying to go through every single one of them and change it, but I mean, we'll just change this right there. So this is interesting. We'll keep that for notes here. Let's have Claude go look at this real quick. What is this? Loadout's ability. I'm getting a bunch of errors like this when I try to equip the loadout that we're currently working on. Say I change one single thing, like I change my grenade and nothing else. You know, it runs through everything and says, "Oh, well, everything else failed." So I needed to know, like, what's been changed in between. I don't necessarily know if that's the best way to do it. I don't know what the best approach for this is going to be. But do whatever you think is best to solve the problem here, so that as I'm building and tweaking and modifying and hitting, you know, equip, we're not running into long delays where it's literally trying to apply every single item, even though that item's already equipped. Also, the other issue I'm running into is, let's say I have an exotic armor piece equipped already, but I have a different one in the loadout. It's like it's trying to apply the new exotic while the old one is still equipped, so I find that a lot of the times it just doesn't equip the new exotic. And then I have to essentially, once it finishes and gives me the little warning message that pops up in the lower right hand side of the screen, I then have to hit equip again, and then it'll equip properly. Alright, so we're going to give this to Fable, and we're going to give it medium effort thinking. I'm going to let that run. And while it's doing that, I'm going to use the restroom. Oh man, I wonder how long. No wonder my dictation wasn't working. My mic was muted. I wonder how long I've been muted here, so. Facepalm. Sitting here talking about all my ideas. Trade secrets, I guess. No clue where I muted this at, but basically we're coming up with finishing this here. Got it, so we're no longer getting an error when we just change something simple like our grenade in the loadout builder. And I just asked Fable 5 on low to build something for our armor mod slots so that we can actually like completely build our loadout right here in this interface. And I think once we've done that, then there's really not going to be anything left in this. One of the things that I was sitting here talking about, which I was probably demonstrating vividly but wasn't actually communicating, was some of the changes that I want to make. So I want to get rid of this entire section here. All this is just going to go away. It's pretty much useless. We have the inventory tab. And then I want to take this save to build section, take this, maybe make it like a Moodle or something so that you can save your build here, but then, you know, it also has the saved builds up there. And you can just have as many of these saved builds as you want. The nice thing is, you know, there's only 20 in-game loadouts, but we can have technically an infinite number of these. And if I build like a backend database that stores it, you know, maybe we just say, hey, for this user ID, whatever their Bungie username is, like just save their builds, the configs. And then that way, because I think this is being stored to just like the browser cache. So if I clear my browser history, all this goes away. But if I store it in a database, then you can pick this up on your phone and have your saved builds. So food for thought on that, but I think I want to make this a Moodle as well, like I said, just so that, you know, it's nice when you're saving your build and it's right here, but when I come to this page for the first time and I want to load a config, I want this to be at the top. And another thing I was talking about was with the equipped builds here. Like if I want to change my grenade, maybe I need to have like just your actual build showing where we almost have like a 2-column thing where we have a main column and then just maybe like a secondary column that actually just shows where it's fixed on the page, stationary, and shows what our build is going to consist of. I don't know, I'm really pleased with this. It'd be nice to share it and people actually see it and use it. Might have to post it on Reddit. Get old Aztec Cross to give it a try. I really want this to just be like a one-stop shop for everything in terms of this game. That way I don't have to Google anything. I don't have to try and remember some other website. I don't have to go to 5-6 different websites to find out information. I can literally go into my reports and see the, you know, activities that I've done and click on random people that I've never even met that I've played with one activity, and I can wait a few seconds and see everything that they've ever done. The thing is, I don't know what people's little hashtag numbers are, and there's no way to see that in game either, so asking somebody that information would be pretty hard. So need a way to be able to search Guardians too, because it'd be nice to be able to say, okay, I want to look up FBI SWAT 400 real quick. That's easy to type in and maybe look up real quick to see, okay, how many times have they cleared it? Like this dude has attempted a bunch of the you know, the raids, but he has like no clears. Same with the dungeons. He probably doesn't have anybody to play with, or he doesn't really spend a lot of time on the game. A little more time playing Crucible, but yeah, I mean that's the only thing I can do as far as other players. But Fable's still working over there on that. I don't know what else I would add to this though. It'd be nice, like I said, to add, I think I was muted while I was saying this too, but just having a way to maybe have like a natural language AI or whatever that's built into it, where I could just say, hey, I'm trying to build something like that's built around Celestial Nighthawk, Golden Gun, Still Hunt, for boss DPS. It's a solar build, so can you just put together the rest of the build that is going to be the best to just put some major numbers up on DPS, right? Like, you know, something where I could just say natural language, just like I'm doing with Claude to build this whole application, and then maybe have like some sort of structured back end for, like, it needs to basically run a tool or a process of here's the different things, but it needs to know, like, so I don't know how I would build something like that. That would be an interesting thing, but like that's like the only thing that I think really is the next evolution of this beyond that. And I would need it to be relatively cheap, but you would need it to be smart, because obviously I wouldn't want it to like get spammed, and you wouldn't want to have an AI where people are coming in here and be like, how do I make chocolate cake? Would be a cool idea though. Not sure what else to build though inside of this. I think it would be pretty much it. At that point, it would just be a matter of deciding, do I want to get a public domain and publish this and share it? Or do I want to just keep it all to myself? Even if I share it, I mean, is anybody going to see it? Might get a couple of people to check it out and be like, this is like the greatest app ever, but I mean, I have some more ideas maybe with the cleanup flags and maybe some of the settings or whatever. Maybe doing even like adjustable dynamic tile sizes. Maybe these tiles are too small for some people. Be, you know, make it a little bit bigger. Grid sizing. Bro, what do I have? It would be nice to be able to also, like, some of these things that I don't have that are locked. It'd be nice to, even like in the collections, just clicking on any of these items and being able to see them a little more in depth would be nice. Like, you click on some of these weapons, like, I don't even know what this weapon is or what it does. I mean, you can hover over it for a second, you get this little box here. So this is the navigator from the Ghost of the Deep Dungeon, but it would be a little better to have like a Moodle, kind of like in the inventory tab, that gave you more information about the weapon and like this is what this weapon does, and be like, damn, okay, maybe I need to learn how to do that read because I want that. You know? Right now I have no freaking idea, so I think that would be an improvement that I would do here to the collections page. It'd be kind of nice. Another thing too would be like building AI into this where it just knows like, hey, what should I do next? Also, I don't know if I said this when I was just creating this, but if we have like some sort of structured backend where, you know, the AI has to run tools or something and confirm that all these slots are selected, or just automatically pull and equipped, then we could probably even have some sort of MCP build out where we could build our own MCP server too. Pretty crazy. That would probably have to be a paid something, like that's where we would. People pay like 99 cents or $1.99 a month and they get access to the MCP server. Or just give it to them for free. Fuck it, I don't care. I mean, buy me a coffee. But Claude is finished. I don't even remember what I asked. Let's see. We asked it for armor mod slots. So let's see what it put together in the armor mod slots. And then I am gonna call this because it's getting close to my bedtime. It's actually past my bedtime. Typical. This is it's got drop downs for this. I mean, this is a good start, I guess. I mean, if we go look at helmet, do we have 3 additional slots? We have 3 additional slots. I kind of would like to see like some of these, like if we can pull in these actual symbols and stuff. Cause yeah, it's nice. I mean, you know, ashes to assets if you're building grenades, but sometimes it's just easier to see. So we gotta make a little bit of a better way, but let's just throw something on here and see if we can get rapid solar weapon. Final abilities create us an orb of power. Reduces super cooldown when using your class ability. Gain bonus super energy. Arc, heavy. We'll do heavy ammo scout. Why not? And then we'll do super font. So that's gonna put 3 things onto our helmet here. Theoretically, so let's just equip on Hunter. See what happens. Still got 1 failure. wasn't able to apply the mod. I got most of them. It was pretty good. I think we'll have to pick up on this tomorrow though, because I am getting pretty tired, and I would definitely like to finish this. This tuning mod socket is new too. I need to pick that up somehow. Another thing that would kind of be nice to do is do something maybe different with this. Like, these are just, hey, target this completely, but maybe we just get rid of all these where you just have it. Here's a total points I want. Give me the highest number possible. Give me the most balanced, even spread possible across all the stats. And then custom, where like you can just say, hey, do your best to make this the highest distribution. So a ranking would be nice too, where you can say, I want to focus on these stats. That's kind of where like the combinations, if I think about like the D2 armor picker, the one thing that it did have that I'm kind of missing is like it showed you the different combinations in just a simple format. It's like, here's all the different possibilities that you could do, and you could look at them and say, well, I already got, you know, that armor set's masterworked, so I'll just go ahead and use that one because just ready to go, and it saves me 1 point versus I gotta spend all my enhancement prisms to upgrade this new armor set for 2 stat points. So, food for thought. I think that's gonna be a wrap for me though. Probably try and pick this up tomorrow, I guess. Keep the stream going. See if we can't stream a little every day on this. Sitting here coding anyways. Might as well try and make some money while I'm doing it. Streaming to my 0 people audience. But at least it's out there. Adios, my friends.